I think we're live. What do we got here? We got Gary. What's up, buddy? Got John. Got Mark, and Deanna, and Matt. Got Chris. We got John. And Trolls. What's up, Ben? And Mark. What's up, Noise Bloom? What's up, I think we saw Michael in there, Fretless Ed, and Searching for Tone, Music Sound Gear. I think I see David, John, Eric, WJ Cooper, Speaker. What's up, dude? Matt says sound is good, good. Voice is okay. And the guitar is all right. Am I early? Am I slightly early? Maybe. Give it a second, I'll be on time. What's up, JTM? I think Searching for Tone, Jay, Chris, Steve, Zoots, what's up, dude? Zach. Got Stellick, we got Larry, and Ed Nugent. What's up, James? What's up, Shred Plants? What's up, Fiesta Boss? Son is trying to talk me into buying the guitar. I think it sounds really good. And, you know, it's a little dark here. But, you know, they do a blue. You know what I found out? It wasn't my mic making that sound. It's this friggin' lacquer finish with the leather strap. It's a leather on lacquer. It's like I'm walking around with tight leather pants on. But, you know, I'd have to switch to a guitar with a poly finish. What's up, Andrew? What's up, Brian? What's up, John? Tyler. What am I using for a cam? I'm using the Insta360 in 4K mode. So it's quite the bandwidth. Gonna buy a guitar, but a used vehicle sounds better. Yeah, you know, there's a difference between needs and wants. Yeah, probably need the car. You know, it's a nice guitar. It sounds good too. You know, very much in tune. Great intonation. Great sound and pickups. You know. What's up, Retro Buffer? Did I have to say Rev Gary already? What's up, Rockin' Rob? I don't get to see them all sometimes. Sometimes it goes by a little fast. Exactly, the damn leather pants. Exactly. It's like you're sneaking up on no one. It's And it really is only has been with this guitar, I think, because of the lacquer. I suppose if I switch to a, you know, I'd have to get just the right strap. I mean, I have another one like this, but I feel like it's going to be more of the same. If I just switch the strap and see what happens, I mean, we could. Hold on. Is it any better? I think it is. Oh, I think it is. So it's the strap. It's probably just worn in enough that it's like flattened itself out. Right, so you become a more sticky surface. Oh, a little bit right there. But not quite as bad for now. Yeah. Sounds out. Let me check my tuning. Where's my tuner? Here it is. Hold on. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. A little bit. No, a little bit. That's even worse. That's a little... It's worse when you have one string that's just slightly flat and you have another one next to it that's slightly sharp. It just makes it even that much worse. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. I call that acceptable. It's in the acceptable range. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hold on. Where is it? For Christ's sakes. There it is. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, tone strap. Okay, that's acceptable. How you doing? How's your week going? My week was super busy. Busy week. Very busy week. Yeah, exactly. G-string went for a little walk. Got dressed up. You're looking sharp there. Real sharp. I watched the Dickie Betts in memory of last night. No, I didn't see it. Did you guys catch the the concert for first responders? Phil X was sort of like the house guitar player, and they were bringing a bunch of different people up, and they brought up Richie Sambora. It seemed like he might have been a little drunk, a little bit. Like gave everybody a hug and gave Phil X the total cold shoulder and total douchebag. But, you know, what are you going to do? And then pretty much everyone in the comments, so I think it was a Phil X fan page, everyone in the comments was like, Phil's a total pro. Like, just powered through it. Richie Sambora can sing. His voice sounded great. But, God, what a colossal douchebag. He was rude to Phil. I thought so. I thought he really gave him the cold, like, was hugging everybody and saying hi to everybody, but one dude was noticeably missing. And Phil even tried to reach out, and he just walked away. And I was like, oh. Phil's like, okay, cool, whatever. He did give him a fist pump. Oh, did he? I guess I missed that. Was it towards the end? I don't think I made it through the whole tune. I just saw the antics at the beginning and was like, huh. Boy, Richie's still the same. Well, Richie Sambora, they did need him because he sang. I mean, Phil X could have sang it, but he does not do Bon Jovi tunes because he feels like, you know, that's not his material to do. Where it is Sambora's. You know, I think he's a co-writer on that song. The one they did. So, you know, he can do whatever he wants, but I think Phil X feels a little weird, like doing Bon Jovi songs when he's more like a hired gun. In Richie's defense, he's from New Jersey. Well, there you go. See, everyone forgets that. Well, I think at one point he was sort of lobbying to get back in with Bon Jovi, and Bon Jovi wasn't having it. And so that just pisses Richie off. But again, I don't know that Richie ever shook his demons. He might have seemed a little. I mean, was it me? Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe he's just has, you know, sort of like Ace Frehley has just drunk so much you just get permanent drunk voice, even when you're not drinking, right? Like that just becomes your regular voice, right? Seemed a little drunk. Yeah, I thought so too. I always feel bad for Orianthi. It's like, you know, blink twice if you're in trouble, you know? Yeah, exactly like Joe Walsh's talking voice. Right. No, it's like if you drink enough for long enough, it feels like your speech does get a sort of like permanently slurred, even when you're not drinking. You know? Yeah, it's Joe Walsh syndrome, exactly. So, you know, so he may not have been drunk. You could just have that You know, you drink for 30 years straight, 20 years straight. That'll do it. Yeah, exactly. Permadrunk, exactly. You know, that's a sad reality of long-term alcohol consumption. Yeah, the thing is Joe probably always sounded like that. But was he drunk back then? He might have been. Joe was a heavy drinker, man. I think he's cleaned his act up. You know. Yeah, it seems like Richie Sambora sucked the life out of Ori. I know she seems to have aged terribly. My God, she seemed to be so much more like outgoing. And maybe not. Maybe she was always like that, but I feel like she's I don't know, quieter, like a little bit more introverted now. But what do I know? So I don't know if you saw it. Let me see if I can call it up here. Let's see. Yeah, right here. Yeah. Have you seen this? It's the Tunerette. It's the tuner that looks like a cigarette. So you can be the coolest dude tuning your guitar. Were you a big fan of, Jimmy Page or Richard, Keith Richards, Then you too can look cool with the Tunerette. Right there. Pretty cool. Have any other pictures of it? Yeah, right there. Yeah. It looks like a cigarette. Right? But it's a tuner. It's the Tunerette. I don't know if AI was responsible for it, but I'm going to credit it. Thank you, AI. I just want to get on AI's good side. Thank you for the Tunerette. It's a $5 tuner for $50, but it looks like a cigarette. And it comes in this handy case, maybe? Does it come with the case? Is that the box? No need for batteries, USB-C rechargeable. We advise removing any clip-on tuner before a performance, but with Tunerette, if you leave it on, at least you won't look like an idiot. Nice. Nice. All right. Well played. Oh, touche. Exactly. And I think that's Camel Unfiltered. I think you're right? What is that? It's got the pick, but what does that pack look like? Tarrington 100s? You know? Trying to think of the, right? Some friggin' unfiltered cigarette. There was another thing, too. Oh, I know. Remember last week we couldn't find the hairline crack guitar? I found it. I found the guitar with the hairline crack. Hold on. Where is I put it? I put it aside. Oh, there it is. All right. So, here's the guitar. Originally wanted $750. Now he's asking $450. It's this Ovation with a case. Now, let's read this. Let me start off by saying this is the best sounding Ovation I have ever played. Nice. Has hints of tone to the likes of my HT28. That's a Martin. Whoa. You know, Tony Rice did some of those early bluegrass records with an Ovation. I don't know who Tony Rice is, but that sounds like legit. Anyway, made in USA in 1979 in USA. Neck is straight. Truss rod turns as it should. Frets have some slight wear, but you still have years of life left on them. The electronics work as they should. There's 2 inputs. They can run in stereo. No cracks. Wow. Wow. Has 2 tiny dings on the top. The guitar plays and sounds fantastic. Amazing craftsmanship in every sense of the word. When you play it, you can smell 1979 coming from the sound hole. It's true. That sounds like someone who didn't live through 1979. It has a hairline crack on the top back of the neck that has been repaired. It was like that when I got it several years ago. I've played this guitar often and even did some gigs with it. It's been sitting in the case for some time now. I'm using a Godin. This needs to go to a new home and be played. Comes with an Ovation hard case. Check out the photos. Oh, let's check out these photos, okay? All right, here we go. A little photo right there. All right, looking good. Nice. Here's the Ovation. Shot with the train. Yeah, nice. Okay. All right, looks good. Has the scrolled bridge, which is a fancy feature. It's got the oversized inlays, which is another fancy feature. You know, scrolling. Okay, all right. A little bit on the inside there. Show you it's made in USA. Nice. Got the scrolled, truss rod cover. Sure. There you go. It's got the inlaid Ovation instead of the. This thing is just so nice. I mean, for $450, what's this? What? Oh. Is that your hairline crack? This right here? With this giant thing here? And I don't know if you noticed, but there's a wood screw going through the back of your guitar. And that action, that's not instilling confidence right there. I'm just saying. Oh yeah, oh nice. And look at all the hack marks where someone tried to file down the wood screw and they missed a few times and hacked into the back of the guitar, hacking it here and here and here and here. Exactly. Into open reduction, internal fixation. Oh, I know that. I've had the O-riff. Oh, yeah. Nice. Look, there's a hairline crack. It's a hairline crack. What's wrong with you? It's just a hairline crack. There's nothing else you want to mention about that. Hairline crack. Like, you can't even be serious, bro. Look at that thing. Doesn't even mention it. Yeah. Let's go back to that description again. What did you say? You know, plays in amazing craftsmanship. Blah, blah, blah. Has a hairline crack on the back of the neck that has been repaired. It was like that when I got it several years ago. Just quickly, just throw that in right through there. Let me start off by saying this is the best sounding Ovation I've ever played. Asterisk. It's the only Ovation I've ever played. Nice. Good luck, bro. Good luck. That's a tone screw. Yeah, 79 smelled like crack. Actually, that's not a Glen Campbell. The Glen Campbell model is slightly different. That's not a Glen Campbell. That is a custom Legend. That's a custom Legend right there. Let me see if I can get the full photo. Right there. Yeah, that's a custom Legend. And the difference, so what they already had a guitar called the Legend, which was their top of the line model. And this woman was getting a new guitar for her husband, and she wanted it to be dressed up nice and fancy. So she wanted the scrolled bridge, and you wanted the abalone on the edge, and the oversized dot thingies, and the scrolled like headstock piece. You know, this thing up here that's scrolled. That there. She wanted the scrolled headstock thing, and I think they already, you know, but basically it was their top of the line model, even upped even more. And they liked it so much, they kept it. And I don't know what year it was, but it's some year, Linda gave it to Paul. And that's how that started out. But, yeah, you got to have one with a headstock that's completely attached. I mean, you can do good headstock repairs. I'm not saying it can't be done, but I wouldn't, that headstock repair does not instill me with confidence. Lucky strike. Yeah, I think you're right. No, I like that guitar too. The problem is that, you know, they've sort of shot up in price recently. I could have got one of those for like $400 or $500, and now they're more like $1,100-$1,200. They've sort of shot up, so not like eggs though. Jesus Christ, man, it's like the biggest type. And we just had, in fact, the state sort of stepped in because they were pissed. But we had a 27% increase in our natural gas in like 1 month. We knew that bill seemed high. And they're really supposed to go, they're heavily regulated in the state. They're supposed to go through all kinds of approvals that they didn't go through. And they were sort of like clever with how they worded it. Like it was like reclamation for like some work that, it was all kinds of crazy mumbo jumbo. But I think the state forced them to drop it 5% by the next month. But but it's still up 22%. So my other guitar, I've been making a little bit of headway on that. It's gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but you know, it would be even gorgeouser if I could just clean it up a little bit, you know, polish the frets, put a new set of strings on it. I've got to, you know, set it up, right? I mean, it's great, but it could be, you know, just set up, I think, a little bit better. And then it has a like a strap system. I think that's DiMarzio, that has like the straps that bolt directly to the body. And that strap is friggin' rank. I don't even want to touch that thing. I'm going to burn it. So I just had to get the strap pins, which I actually have like a set here. But I said, just out of curiosity, I wonder if I could get like the exact right ones. And I could. They're available. So I ordered them, and those are on the way. They should be here. That guy took forever to friggin' ship it. I really hate that. You know, it takes like a couple of days to get a tracking number, and then it takes a couple of days after the tracking number is issued before it actually gets into transit. And then, you know, they put it on the slowest friggin', you know, it's coming by horseback. Like the cheap ass friggin' shipping, pissing me off, but it'll be here, I think, Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, I think it's DiMarzio clip locks. Yeah, so it's really not, you know, I don't have a DiMarzio clip lock strap here. I don't even want to use what's on there. I think it's friggin' gross. I just want to go back to the regular strap buttons, and I'll be good to go. And I actually found the exact right ones, so I'm good. Exactly, like a setup in a detail. There's no scratchy parts or anything. That should all be good. So it you know, it seems like it's 99% there. I'll probably, you know, give it a nice, you know, polish the frets, and then do a nice oil the fretboard, make it all look like brand new, and, you know, polish it all up and get it all nice and shiny and new, and get it ready for the camera, so it looks like as good as it can look. You know, I'm friggin' stoked though. It's nice. Well, down in New York, they're selling eggs as loosies. You can buy, like loose cigarettes. You can buy loose eggs. I just need 2 eggs, man, to get me through the day. I think they're getting like $1 or $2 an egg. I use the DiMarzio clip locks on almost all my guitars. Yeah, it seems nice, except this one, this guy clearly was a smoker. Like, I was like, oh my God, I don't even want to touch this thing. I mean, that strap, it's white, but it looks brown. I was like, oh man, you gotta, now I need to clean the guitar. Now I don't want to touch the guitar. God, that strap speaks volumes. Ugh, it was friggin' rank. It's like, no. So what I'll probably do is I'll get the new strap buttons, and then I'll clean it up a little bit, and then I'll probably even maybe stick the whole thing out in my car like a tent, and run the ozone generator, and maybe clean that, get that case nice and cleaned up, and get rid of the stank. Got a bit of the case stank, so I'll get rid of the stank out of the case, maybe the stank out of the guitar. The guitar actually really doesn't smell at all. I would say the Jackson that I got there with the flames, that almost smells like a fireplace, right? It smells smoky. And so whoever owned that, I think, had a fireplace or something like that. The former smoker, I have to say, smokers do not smell good at all. I'm pretty sure that that's what it is. It is pretty nasty. It is like so gross. I don't even want to touch the friggin' thing. So I confirmed the electronic. Last time I saw you, and I only had the guitar for about an hour. So I hadn't even plugged it in yet. Maybe even less than an hour. And so afterwards I checked it out, all working, everything's fine. It just does need a cleaning, and God, that strap is friggin' gross. Other than that, it's great. And I got the strap buttons coming, so should be here, I think, Monday, Tuesday. That radius I bought off you is definitely owned by a smoker. Yeah. You know what? I think the ozone generator does a pretty good job. But if you really want to do it, you kind of got to take the plates off the back, so the whole thing is sort of exposed. And it wouldn't hurt to run an extra fan to blow the ozone around and help it get into the little seams of the guitar in the case a little bit better. And I've found like a few ozone treatments. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty miraculous. It's pretty good. I lift the plastic on the back plate and it fused to the back plate. That's actually pretty common. I know it almost looks like brown paper. That was a common problem with those Ibanez. People would leave it on, and then a few years would go by, and then they couldn't get it off. And then it was like, oh shit, and then they're stuck. The only way you might be able to get it off, and I think that this has been successful for me for not just that style, but like the vinyl style as well. Especially when I'm trying to get them off of cases, right? Stickers on cases that you'll just tear the Tolex. That bond is so strong. A blow dryer. A blow dryer puts just enough heat to really start to soften those bonds. And you might be able to take a plastic putty knife, a blow dryer, and a plastic putty knife. And I wouldn't do it in the guitar. I'd probably take it out of the guitar and screw it down to a wood board. Right, and then do it on the wood board and see if you can scrape it with something plastic, because you don't want to scratch it. And the thing is you can't take the glue off chemically, because you'll ruin the plastic. There's nothing that both destroys the glue and preserves the plastic, which sucks. Still a great guitar. The only one you still own, so you don't have. Geez, you had a few. I won't out all the ones, but you had at least, I want to say, 2 more, right? I think. You think lighter fluid will work? It won't hurt the plastic, but it will cut through the glue. Which is what, naphtha? WD-40, will that work? A diddle dee dee. I tell you, we went out with pinstripe remover, yeah. Razor blade attached to a soldering iron, yeah. I could see that. Just basically heat to break the bond. Yeah, you know, we've been loving the Yard House. We figured out their half-price appetizers, man. It's awesome. You go there, we walk out of there with multiple alcoholic drinks and a couple of appetizers for like $40. That's cheap. All day. We're like, sweet. Last time we went, which was last night, I tried the Hefeweizen. Weissbier. It was good. It was really good. It's what I like in a wheat beer. Kind of a bready and yeasty. Well, the problem with Goof Off is Goof Off will destroy plastic. Right? Goof Off is strong stuff. Goof Off smells to me like carburetor cleaner. Brake cleaner. Yeah, so last week I had the Dunkel, which was good, darker, maltier. And then, what did I get the week before that? I might have done the House Belgian. You know? Goof Off is lacquer thinner. How can you install Windows 7 and keep all your programs and apps that you want to save? Well, you can just upgrade. Are you upgrading from? What are you upgrading from to get to Windows 7? And you'd be gonna be lucky if you can even down that. You sure you don't mean Windows 11? Yeah, there's binding on this neck with the fret nibs and yeah. I saw this guy, he was working for Publishers Clearinghouse. And just the cash cow that thing was. I didn't understand the business model, but when he explained it, it was like they were just raking in money. It was insane. In fact, they had so much money, they could use it to do the contests, right? And then the contest starts slow, but it like turns into this whole thing in the prize patrol, and they were doing $1 billion in sales of magazines. And they didn't have to provide the magazines. The magazines provided them. And magazines generally would provide magazines to resellers for free because they just wanted subscription numbers, circulation numbers, so they could go back and get money on the advertising. So they had deals in place with a lot of, secondary magazine, like subscription services, whatever, where 100% of the magazine subscription was kept by, right? That's why they would do it for so cheap, you know. They say, oh, it'll be only this a year. You know, it's this for the cover price, but it's this a year. Yeah, because you're getting the magazine for nothing. And the magazine company would honor the subscription because to them, they were printing the magazine anyway, and they would get a media rate to ship it. So they didn't care. They wanted the circulation numbers. That's how they were making their money. And so he goes, we invented a thing where we said, we will kick you back 20%. So not only were they getting the circulation, they were also making money. You know, for each and every sale, he said they were going, it was like piranhas on a carcass. He goes, they were just going crazy. And they would fight over who got to be like in the mailers. He goes, and at their peak, they were mailing out 3 mailers a week. But it all came to a crashing halt because of not them, but a competitor who started years later, who saw that sweet plum and said, yeah, me too. And that was American Family Publishers, and that was Ed McMahon. And they were all getting a little loose with like, you're a finalist, but finalist meant you're a finalist with 100 million other people. So it was kind of, everyone's a finalist, but you're a finalist. It was like this weird thing. Well, what does finalist even mean? And it got a little wonky. And then that, not them, but the other company started to really suggest like they had won. And elderly people started to fly down to their headquarters to collect their money. Like on their own dime. This like 94-year-old guy from California, like he's like 91 or 94, he flew to Florida to collect his millions of dollars, only to be told, well, you're like one of the finalists, but and that was the end of it. And the thing is everybody thinks Publishers Clearinghouse was Ed McMahon. He goes, he was never our spokesman, ever. He goes, we're always lumped in. He goes, we had the biggest brand name, but he had the biggest like presence on TV for it. And we got conflated. And he goes, they went out of business. He goes, they were sued by, pretty much every AG in the country and countless, class action suits for anybody who ever received a mailer, which is pretty much anyone in the U.S., and they went through it too, but they had enough financials to get through it, but they never really recovered. Oh, it was a fascinating story because you got to remember those, right? The whole Publishers Clearinghouse shit. And then the other way they made money was they would sell your name, and they could sell you to marketers because you would, based on the magazines you chose, you gave them a kind of an insight into your likes and dislikes, into your marketing, parameters. It's like, oh, you like knitting, you like cats, you like cooking, right? They build a profile. And then he said the greatest thing ever was you did not have to subscribe to the magazine, but people were convinced that if you didn't make a purchase and if you didn't subscribe, you wouldn't be really considered for the contest. He goes, which absolutely wasn't true. He goes, it was against the law. You did not have to buy anything. It was against the law to make you buy something to enter the contest. He said, so no purchase was necessary, but people did it anyway because they interviewed countless people afterwards and they said, well, they said you didn't have to, but everyone knew, wink, wink, you kind of had to. That was the brilliance of the whole thing. The people convinced themselves. Oh, man. New mixer? No, I've had this a long time. Am I coming through on both channels? Yeah, it looks like I am. This is, what do they call this? Transparent charcoal burst or transparent black burst? That's a good question. I think it's, we can look it up. It's transparent, I want to say black burst, but it could be charcoal. Hold on. We'll look it up real quick. Doo-doo. Yeah. It is transparent ebony burst. And they have the bourbon burst, the cobalt burst, the honey burst, and the transparent ebony burst, which is what this is. Transparent ebony burst is the correct name. Mm-hmm. Back in the days when you charged you not to print your name and address in the phone book, yeah. Your name and address was going in the phone book unless you paid to keep it out. The so-called unlisted number. Yeah, no. And the crazy thing is that they only had so many, like, magazines that would go per, like, issue. He goes, the magazine companies would fight. Sometimes the publishers would fight internally about which magazines they carried would be featured because it was a boost. He said they were loving it. Mainly because not only were they getting the circulation numbers they wanted and this huge circulation boost, he's like, we were paying them. He goes, we took 80% and they took 20%. But he said a lot of those, similar things where the reseller took 100%. And the magazine people would just provide it because it was worth it to them. It was worth it to send out the magazine for free to go back and get that back on the back end for whatever they were paying for a year per person per month in mailing fees. It was worth it to them to get it on the back end in advertising. What a difference. I know. Remember the phone books? God, phone books. That was crazy. Hey, what's up, Alshon? And the yellow pages, oh my God, that was a huge industry. You had to pay out the ass to get into the yellow pages. And, you wanted a big, if you wanted a full page ad, because I remember this was right around 1995. If you wanted a full page ad in the yellow pages, it was $2,500 a month for a full page ad in the yellow pages. $2,500 a month. It is. I've never owned a BC Rich. I'd get one here for Guitar of the Week, but Zounds doesn't sell them. So, I don't think they do. Just like they say they have Dean, but they don't really. I could take a quick look, but I don't think they have them. Go to Sounds. Electric guitars by brand. Yeah, no PC Rich. They do have Dean, though. They have a few different Deans. Could maybe try a Cadillac or something like that. Or the ML. Look at me, I'm Elliot Easton. They're like, what are you talking about? It's Dimebag. I'm like, who? Yeah, exactly. Let your fingers do the walking. God. There was a time it was illegal to own your own phone. That changed in like the mid-'80s. You couldn't buy a phone before that. You know, you had to get it from the phone company. You had to lease it. Kind of like cable boxes. When cable first came out, you couldn't own your own cable box. You had to lease it from the cable company. Do they have a PV Wolfgang HP? Good question. PV. Hold on, I gotta clear the Dean. Do they have a PV? They certainly have a lot of Gibsons and Fenders and Epiphones and what else have I done a lot of? Music Man. I've done a ton of those. Let's take a look here. I don't know. Did I skip over it? They have a PV, but I don't. Oh. You know what? Yeah, I suppose I could. They have a. Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, they have a PV HP too. You know what? I've been trying to avoid $3,000 guitars on Guitar of the Week. I just feel like, you know, I don't know, kind of pricey for a weekly segment. But you know, maybe. And you know, Sounds is so nice. I think once they send this to me, that transparent blue would be an open box transparent blue, or an open box transparent black, or an open box natural. And I don't want to be responsible for knocking down like their asking price because I wanted to do a video on it. I think that's a bit much. I've been trying to avoid those kind of numbers. I just don't think it's fair to them. They say, oh yeah, why don't you send me over like a $5,000 brand new guitar, so then you can call it an open box and like lose freaking $500. It's like I don't do that. In fact, most of the guitars, including this one I'm holding, this one came back, I forget if this was an open box. This one might have been open box, wasn't a blem. But I usually go for open box, blem, scratch and dent, you know, factory warehouse resale. They have all different types. That's what I go for first all the time. And the only time I really go for something that's not that is when it's like brand new. And if I don't get it brand new. But even then, I tend to get guitars that are like under $1,000. I just think it's unfair to Sounds to say, yeah, I'm going to just send that over. Let me rip that box open and like knock the value of that guitar down 10%. It's like rolling off the friggin' car lot in a car. You lose 10% touching the street. You're like, boom, gone. I know that exactly, the PRS double mag. Oh, I remember the party line. Oh yeah, we had rotary phones for years before we finally got touchtone. They finally ended rotary. Mm-hmm. Could not get all the amps and CapEx upgrade in V2. Oh, if you have V2 Essentials, isn't that the free one? So I don't know about that. I think you need to have the... I'm not sure. You'd have to talk to them. Go to the forums. Someone on there will know. The one I have is the full premium version. And that upgraded no problem. And it's on sale right now, too, I think. I think that's still on sale. But I'll bet that Essentials one is probably, you know, I'm sure it's cut down in some way, a lot of ways. Yeah, not only paying out the ass to make a long-distance call. A long-distance call was just to go, like, literally the next town over because they were in a different area code. If you were at the edge of the area code, and literally the town next door was another area code, it cost a shit ton of money just to call, like, just right down the friggin' road. It was insane. Because you would have to go to your local center, which would have to connect you to that center, and then connect you, and that was, quote-unquote, long distance. And then, of course, all the 800 services, right? 1-800-COLLECT. Yeah, I remember, I want to say because I was working in Norwood, and Norwood was on the very edge of the 617 area code. The next town over, Walpole, was 508. And, like, you could not call a 508 area code. You know, you call from that business phone, and my God, my bosses would be losing their minds. Because it was very expensive just to call, like, literally just one town over, because you were at the very edge of the 617 area code. And then it all became 781, and then they were running out of numbers, and then there was 938, and they 1-800-COLLECT, yeah, who's Spade? Yeah, exactly. Calling cards. I tell you, in 2003, when I had my broken leg and I was calling collect out of the hospital, you know, calling home to my wife, we realized I called collect and it was very expensive. And then I called through like 1-800-COLLECT and had it put to our home phone. It was like literally 1/10 the amount. It was insane how much cheaper it was. You go through 1-800-COLLECT because you're calling their numbers and then they're connecting you through their systems, and it was just a shit ton cheaper. Yeah, Spade and Larry Bud Melman. That's right, Larry Bud Melman. Except a call from Mom, call me back. Exactly. Yeah, that sounds about right. They probably really limited. You think that's bad? So we had a T1 line going to, I think it was our office in Madison, out in Madison, Wisconsin. And so we had a T1 line, and then in case the T1 line broke, you know, they would earn enough money there. I forget if it was there. It might have been the LA office or Palo Alto. It might have been Palo Alto. But one of the offices, no, I think it was Mass. They had a T1 line, and then which was symmetrical 1.5 megabit, and then in case that failed, just to make sure business could still be conducted, they added this ISDN backup, like a rollover. And but the ISDN was very, very expensive, but at least business could continue. And it was sort of this fallback. So the IT guy came in on like Friday to test it, and he forgot to turn off the ISDN so that it was rollover only. You're supposed to like turn it off. You open the line, but then you close the line again, like hanging a phone up. So even though there was no data going over it, if you take the phone off the hook with an ISDN line, you pay for that. You pay for the connection. And by Monday morning, he had blown through, I think it was something like $22,000. It was, yeah, it wasn't good. That'll get you fired. They didn't need him so bad. Yeah, because it was something like he said, I remember him telling me, he goes, it would run about $10,000 a day, but, if it's the whole office conducting business, they'll make that up, right? It's like, it's almost worth it to have that on, and then I could turn it off until, he goes, and it's only supposed to be until we get the T1 back going again. So you're not imagining it going for very long before you get your T1 back. He goes, unless you forget to turn it off. I'm like, damn. He goes, I wouldn't mind it, but there was almost no data. It's just a constant handshake. What's up, Dwight? of your 8-year-old videos in my feed. 1980 Yamaha artist. I'm trying to remember that. I don't remember that. A Yamaha artist? Maybe an Ibanez. That was about the Davidas jam? Yeah, he saw me in the audience, and then he called me up, and I was like, yo, you mother. Like, ducking down behind people. When I went up there. Oh, who's that? I hear somebody over there. And then he just said, let's just do a Van Halen thing. And we did. That is good. That's a fresh pot right there. Oh, I know. Then they had you do all the prefixes, right? Nelson, yeah. Just call 10, 10, 20, 2, 20, 10. And save up to 90%. It was, yeah, no, got a little nutty. And then everything went voice over IP. And I went to Vonage for a while. Remember Vonage? They were hot shit for a few minutes. And then after Vonage, we went to Tello, which is free. And they regret that because I'm one of the first people to sign up for Tello. And they've always bitched and moaned like you've got to get a new Tello box. But here's what they admit. They were supposed to collect taxes and fees for each person. Even if it's free, there's taxes and fees for every account. Something they didn't do. And they're basically saying, like, when you get your new Tello, you're going to get, like, you're in a new contract, and you're going to have to pay, like, $6 a year, or it's, like, $8 a year, and, like, taxes and fees. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm going to ride this shit until I pick up the phone and I don't get a signal. And it's still going. I turned that on in 2009. And it's been free ever since. Same with the one in the attic. I'm using an ObiTalk. They just shut down. But ObiTalk still runs. I just can't configure it. You would configure it using your ObiTalk account going through the ObiTalk website. You could get to it over the internet. And you could log into it and configure the box. You could probably do it through Telnet. But I have my ObiTalk box set up for Google Voice. So again, nothing a month. So I got Tello at nothing a month. And I got Google Voice at nothing a month. And then my cell phone, which I've had since '92. Do you use Tello now? Tello, it's fine. It works fine. You pay $14 for 5G and unlimited with Tello, yeah. Yeah, Ring Central, that was the other big one. Ring Central. Yeah, there's a lot of... Then, oh my God, there were so many voice over IP companies. Like insane. What are good headphones? I like these. I like the Sennheisers. What are they, HD 550s? 558? $5.99. HD $5.99. SE just means they're black. The other ones are, it's the same headphone, but the other ones are brown. We got the brown and the black. SE just means they're black. Not only have I had a cell phone, I've had continuous service on the same number. And what happened was I was on Cellular One. That's who activated the phone. That was in 1992. And then Cellular One got bought by Singular. And I was Singular for a bunch of years. And then Singular got bought by AT&T. And I was AT&T for a bunch of years. And then just a couple of years ago, in 2022, I finally ported over to whatchamacallit, Google Voice. Not Google Voice, Google Fi. And that's been great. You know, I pay like $26, $27 a month. You like that pumpkin pillow back there? That's a cat trap. It has not ensnared any cats, but that is a cat trap right there. There's a pillow under it, and we put that on top of it. The nice warm, what we would call a furry blanket. It's microfiber blanket, and the cats love it. They'll show up. Oh. I have we must have a mouse, because my God, the cats have been staking out the front of the stove now for a couple of weeks, just hanging out all night long in front of that freaking stove, and so they're hearing something. Cardboard box is another good one. We sold the whatchamacallit there, the treadmill, not a treadmill, the cat wheel. Our cats were afraid of it. The guy almost shit. He walked in, he saw it, he was like, "Oh my God, I had no idea it was that big." I said, No, it's you could fit a small dog on that little thing. No, it's big. Yeah, it took hours to put together. Do you really, Krell Bar? We had that. I kind of got that going on a little bit. They're getting in the corner of my front porch, way off in the distant corner. We had water coming through in that corner, or backing up and going over and killing the fascia. Either way, it rotted the fascia board, and it opened up enough of a hole the squirrels are getting in there. Now, I blocked them off with some steel wool, but they gnawed their way into the upper part. So they can't really get in the house, but we can hear them near it. And whenever I bang, they run away. And they've been staying away. They've been away now for a while. But I see them going up and down there, and I can see they're wearing out the paint up in that corner. I'm gonna go to town as soon as it gets nice out. Build a scaffolding out there, get the hell up there, and it's time to put the Squirrel Hotel out of business. I swear he did a lot of that album with a friggin' Les Paul. It sounds like it. Just the brightness. It just sounds like an LP to me. Yeah, squirrels. Now, my uncle used to kill them with a pellet gun. I can see him out in the yard with a beer right now. Squirrels, get them with a pellet gun. Get them a squirrel in the house. Have a squirrel in your house. That's it. They'll get in your house. You'll never get them out. So when they go up in the house, he goes, I just get them with the pellet gun. Like, okay. I don't think I can do the pellet gun. Probably get myself arrested. Calling a falconer. I'm telling you, that whole first album. You think toothpaste will scare him away? I learned the downside of chemical warfare when I tried to throw some Reaper powder up there. It was a bit disastrous. I could feel it on my arms. That's how strong that powder was. And I got in the house and I washed off everything. And I went to wash my face, and as I washed my face, I must have had grains on my eyelashes, and I pretty much maced myself. It was, oh, that was a sensation. That was a sensation, all right. I was like, oh, man. Oh. Ow, ow. I just pepper sprayed myself with Reaper. And of course I get like, it's like literally on the thing, like the hottest Reaper friggin' powder you can buy. I'm like, oh great. And it didn't scare him away. No, it's gonna scare him away. And I even put a wire mesh up there, but they gnawed around it. And the other side is too high. I can't get up there without putting a ladder or scaffolding. And I won't go up a ladder, so I gotta put up scaffolding. You know, ladders worry me. It's not the fall, it's the sudden stop that is of serious concern. You know, they say permanent injury or death can happen at 6 feet. I feel like for me, that's about 3 feet. You heard dryer sheets? Yeah, I don't know. They seem to be laughing at me. They are not, they don't seem to be too worried about me. What I plan to do is go up to that section and just basically board it up. You know, put some nice, fresh, thick, fresh wood up there. You know how that goes. And hopefully that'll keep them out long enough that I can go and patch the whole thing out. And then once it's all patched out, you know, not just the interior where they're going up, but the outside part too. Once that's all patched up, they're not going to go in there any longer. They've also tried to get in through my, through the roof on my dormer. And that's a serious concern because you can like barely make it out from the street. It's a big pain in the ass. But I had the trees cut back last year, and that's been huge. I haven't heard them on the roof really any longer since I had the tree cut back. I think it's just too dangerous to try to get on the house and back off the roof again, you know. Hey, what's up, Ricky? That sounds out. I know, I even got the kitty stuff. I even got the toys. Right there. I got nothing. But I think there's too many people home. So they're occupied. And the window is closed. So they're like, what's the point? What's the... you know what? It was warmer today, but the cold front is blowing through. You can feel it. Yeah, it's down to 34. What's the dew point down to, though? What does it say? 16. The dew point was 40 earlier today. That's a precipitous drop in dew point. That's some friggin' dry air. 16. Damn. Yeah. There you go. That's a cold front, all right. Dew point represents the potential low. The problem is that the ground is warm enough, and we just had a bunch of warm air, so it takes a while for that. But give it a day or two, and that's going to get nutty. Dew point of 13 in Metro Denver. Yeah, well, I would expect Denver's a little drier climate than we have here. The difference is that in the summertime, our dew point will hit like 75. I don't think you're hitting the dew point of 75 in Denver all that often. If ever. Tom shows genius with the Rockman. You know, I've been, you know, you watch one friggin', you know, Boston live video and YouTube suggests a million more, but there's so many great old ones with Brad singing. And if you watch the more recent ones with the, you know, obviously the new guy singing, I think there's a tour from 2014. There's a lot of footage. I think there's even a more recent one. It could have been 2018 or 2019. They were touring again. There's some footage out there. I don't know if there's any footage from the 2020s. I don't know if he's done anything post-COVID. I'm not sure. I'd have to look. But if you look on the stage, it is just like, it's like a wall of, it's the Rockman wall. It's like a wall of Rockmans. He is, he's all in on it. You know? 23, wow. Yeah, that's the weather that's headed this way, I think. We've been warm. We were really cold, then it warmed up, and now they're saying tomorrow and the next day, Sunday and Monday, it's going to be pretty crispy, below freezing for the high both days. All right, Krell Barb, now you got to block yourself. You got to self-block. Got to put yourself in timeout. Yeah, not only the chorus, but the compressor. The compressor was such a big part of that sound. And the multi-tracking, you know, the double tracking. If you look, a lot of times when you see them live, it's quite a few musicians on the stage. I want to say the last time I saw them, they had, I want to say 3 guitar players, maybe 4, certainly 3. All the old Rockmans, yeah. Oh, no way, we have some new members. Who do we have? We have Larry John. Shame. Herb of Fireside Studios. Shame. Paul Lou. Shame. Billy Wayne Norwood. Shame. Hip Metal Works. Shame. The shame is now upon you. An indelible mark that will last, well, about 30 days. Shame. Is it a shame because they weren't already members? No, it's a shame because they became a member. The shame of being a member of this channel. Oh. The 1,000 years from now, they'll never, historians will study this. All the shame scientists. Shameologists. I like this Gibson a lot. I like the neck. I like the slim taper neck. This is ebony, actually. Let me do the ebony on this one. What mid-price 500, 800 guitar necks have a thick baseball bat neck? You know, I don't. It's a good question. I would think anything designated vintage is more likely. I'm trying to think of the guitars I had here over the year that had like big necks on them. It's weird because sometimes they're thinner down by the nut, but then they quickly get like thicker as they go up towards the top of the the upper frets. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I just know this, like when I had like that vintage Telly, that Ventera, that was absolutely a bigger neck than say the Player 2. Like, without a doubt. Without a doubt, that's a bigger neck. Am I keeping the Gibson? No. I don't keep any of the guitars of the week. They're loaners. The only way I could keep it is if I was willing to pay for it. And I don't have that kind of cash right now. No way. Yeah, I gotta use a 3mm pick. Yeah. That's the pick. Trade in the double neck PRS? Yeah. What did you pay for it? $14,000. We can give you like $900 on the trade. Multi-millionaire? Not quite, but I am a multi-hundredaire. Jealous? You too could earn hundreds a month. Did you see the what is it, Godzilla vs. Kong, the New Empire? That's the most recent one. You know, it's like one of those movies that's so friggin' bad, it just like becomes sort of like Mystery Science Theater 3000 material. Sort of turns a corner. Doing about a 5mm, yeah. I'm bummed because I don't think, this guy was out of Belarus. And so I don't think he's really doing much business any longer. He was out of Minsk. And so, I've started to ration them so I don't run out. But eventually I might have to go to, I don't know, I'd have to go to, for this exact type of plastic, this exact type of acrylic, I think the only place I might be able to get it is Gravity. Gravity picks. You didn't see it? It's American production. Oh God, it's so blindingly, awesomely bad. It's yeah, no, Godzilla -1 I thought was that was a Japanese Godzilla. It's very different how they treat the franchise. The Japanese productions are way more, that's cinema, okay? America, you get a movie. In Japan, they make a film. This is a loaner. Catch any of the live Van Halen videos from 79, 84. Leaked a couple days ago. I haven't seen it yet. I can check it out. I was at a couple of those 84 shows. Right? And it's not a loaner as in the guitar is a loaner. L-O-N-E-R. It's a loaner is as if it was loaned to me. L-O-A-N-E-R. Where's my red pen? X-O. An A in there. A little mark, a little arrow. What's the name of the other picture you collect? Hoofschmidt. Yeah, but Hoofschmidt's a different thing. Hoofschmidt's more of like a, almost like an art project. You know, they're very different. The Hoofschmidt picks are too nice to play. It's like I don't want to scratch them. Except the one that you could play, the Torlon, is actually a little bit big for my like everyday, and it actually doesn't have enough drag on it. It's almost too smooth and too slick. That's where the acrylic wears out better, but the acrylic does wear out. Eventually, these are going to be down in nubs. I'm not going to be able, every time I use it, I wear them down just a little bit more. So eventually. But I have probably maybe a dozen of these left, maybe 15. So we'll see how much I can get out of that. A few years. Exactly. Shame. Do I have any coffee left? I do not. Oh. Acrylic is not that durable. That's why they're so good at 3 millimeters. I think if they were thinner, I would have blown through them even faster. But the 3 millimeters are great. But they do wear out. You can see the wear on the edge of that. See it? It's definitely wearing out. Yeah, I've seen Dunnable. They've been at a few events, or at least one event. Yeah, that's the other one I could try. I could try V-Pix. Right, that's the other one. V-Pix. Run by Vinny, right? That's where V comes from. The V is for the guy who runs it. Vinny, I think. No? Or just use your fingers. Which works sometimes, but it's not the same attack. You can get the harmonic. But really, the pick, the attack. The only mass-produced one I've tried is the, this is the Flow by Dunlop, which has this like laser cut grip, which is pretty good, but it's almost a little chirpy, and it's also a little too smooth, because you're expecting a little bit of resistance. I'm sure I get used to it, but a little too chirpy bird. just I mean, you can do a lot with your fingers, but it's just a lot easier with a pick. And you don't beat the piss out of your fingers. You know, those finger picking guys, you know, they have to, they're probably using crazy glue to help build up their surface, because you do that day in and day out, you know, year after year after year, you will start to beat the piss out of your hands. You just will. Not so much your left, but the right hand. Enough of that picking, enough long enough. And I have friends, drummers, that get it. They get the cracked skin in the winter. And, you know, they've really, you know, you start to get the same spot where that stick hits all the time. It really just starts to break down their hands after a while. It gets harder and harder. You know what I did this week is I got a new set of tuners for my 12 string. And they're nice. They're 21-to-1 ratio, which I really appreciate. They sort of just barely fit, because I think, you know, because it's a 12 string, they're pretty close on the headstock. And the buttons don't touch each other, but they just pass each other, you know, like two ships in the night. And they don't hit each other, but it's pretty close. Certainly, if you're going to use a string winder, you'd have to turn the other two out of the way until you got it in the general area. But let me tell you, the 21-to-1, that is smoking, that kind of ratio. It's so much easier to get the, you know, especially the 12 string in tune. And you forget all the cool 12 string songs. The only problem is that, you know, the guitar doesn't have a pickup in it. There's no way to plug it in. But I got it. It looks good too. They had gold. I went black. I think it looks better. We're trying to finger pick the acoustic. Yeah, it's hard. I'll do the finger picking, and then sometimes I'll go to the pick and I'll say, oh, you know what? This is not only easier, I think it sounds better. I think the notes are ringing a little clearer. But it depends. Sometimes on certain things, if you don't use a finger pick, it doesn't sound nearly as good, because you can't draw the strings out simultaneously like you're playing piano. By definition, you've got to strum across a little bit. So being able to just claw and pull out and, you know, do a whole bunch of, you know, like you're not, it's like literally three notes. Or 1, 2. There is some advantage to it, but once in a while, I think long term, man, it will put a beat down on your hands. I was waiting on a Guild 12 earlier. It hits right spots. I love Guild. I'd love a Guild 12 string. I'd love to get an Ovation 12 string. God, there's so many old videos of Nancy Wilson playing one from Heart. Jeff Lynne from ELO. He's got an Ovation 12 string. Of course, Glenn Campbell had a signature model. And who else? Alex Lifeson. He had an Ovation. Just, you know, there was a period between, like, say, 76 and 86 where Ovation was sort of it. And then there was a huge renaissance in the early 90s with there was a huge push towards acoustic. That's why they had that whole MTV Unplugged. Yeah, you can't No, yeah, exactly. Like dust in the wind. Right. Yeah. No, there's certain things you can only do with the fingers, and you know you can't flat pick it. Well, McCartney has an Ovation. Yeah, that's how that custom Legend was born. Linda had them trick out the Legend, which was their top of the line model, and the custom Legend was born. Ovation was the acoustic I wanted the most about 1982. That's about right. About 19, yeah, I was 16. That's about right. Yeah, Ovation was really ahead on that. Well, also, they were convinced, I don't know how accurate it was, but they were convinced that um, the resin bowl that they used, right, that like Kevlar, was it Kevlar? No, it was carbon. No, it wasn't carbon fiber. It was just plastic. Forget now. But whatever they were using for that back bowl, people were convinced that it led to a lot less feedback. It was more controllable. And so it got the rep as being the stage guitar. Yeah, well, Paul didn't have the tone screw. No, only one. Legendary legend. Yeah, it was helicopter blade material, right? Because that's what Cayman did before they started making guitars. They made helicopter blades. The guy was trying to make his own guitar. He cut out the top, but the sides and the back were a lot harder. And so he just made it out of the helicopter blade material. It wasn't Kevlar, it was Krell bar. Boom, boom. Well, the great thing about Ovation is that they kind of have like almost like an electric neck, right? They're a much smaller neck than a lot of acoustics were. So, Google says it was called Lyricord. That sounds like a made-up name for plastic. It needs to be lyrical and have a good chord. Lyricord? Yeah, I love it. Let's just go with Lyricord. You know, okay, we need a new holiday. Something between, like Easter and Halloween. I don't know, we'll call it like, come up with something like Love Day, except not so lame. And they cut to Marge. Happy Love Day! Lisa's like, Love Day? It's totally made up. Lisa, don't ruin another Love Day. Those bowls innovation let you trim and push your, yeah. Oh, nice. Lyricoat is a fiberglass reinforced plastic. It's durable, lightweight, and can be molded into a variety of shapes. Nice. Yeah, I thought it was fiberglass for some reason. Yeah, the Ovation Viper. I had one. I sold that a few years ago. Got like $800 for that guitar. I paid $40 for it at a yard sale. Just needed a new pickguard. And I found this guy online. Oh, God, he did such a good job. It was perfect. Perfect. Like, you know. A slice at Nemo's. Geez, I never really went to Nemo's. Where would I go? I would go to Little Stevie's on Boylston Street in the Back Bay. That was right around Berkeley. And then the other one we would go to would be Giorgio's, right, in the North End. And there was also Pizzeria Regina, but they were just basically a copy of Giorgio's. But Giorgio's didn't make it. I think Giorgio's went out of business. You stand in a big goddamn line to get in there and pay $5 for a pizza that was basically a slice of pizza that was a quarter of a pizza. It'd take you 20 minutes to eat that thing. Ovation was the schnizzle when we played out in the 90s. Mounted on a stand. Well, that's what Alex Lifeson would do. He had one just mounted out on a stand. And he would just walk out and do his little acoustic intro and then step away when the electric guitar kicked in and play the guitar he had slung over his shoulder. It worked great, actually. I remember I could have sworn he had a black one. He had like a black Ovation. And maybe he had a natural top too, but pretty good. Yeah, I was going to hold on to the Viper. The Viper was nice, but, you know, at the end of the day, you know, the Viper, right before I sold it, I fixed it. But the Viper had kind of problems with the input jack because Vipers were wired on the inside. A lot of the connections were solid wire, not stranded wire. It was very easy to break it. And what I basically did was, right before I sold it, I fixed it. But once I had it fixed, that might have been around the pandemic and I was in a panic. That might have been pandemic panic time. When I was like, I got to sell everything because my wife got laid off and we were like in a friggin' absolute panic. I was trying to order 2 slices, and my bud was like, no, exactly. Like, no, don't order, no, don't. Just don't. It's going to be a 4-pound friggin' slice. If they don't have THU2, you could get just THU and it will just instantly upgrade, you know. In fact, when you get the download for it, it might just download V2, even though they haven't upgraded their graphics yet. Because if you bought THU after November 24th, you get the upgrade for free. If you didn't, the upgrade's $29. Look into some of the Epiphones inspired by Gibson. I want to say, definitely one here, the Les Paul Custom. Did I have another one? Or I don't think I did. I wanted to get the SG, or they did a 335, actually, that looked pretty sick, too. And I don't do a lot of semi-hollow here. The reason why I don't is because the guitar is so loud, it sort of bleeds into the microphone. So we'll see. I think they do a triple pickup, certainly a double pick. I think they do like I want to say like a white SG that looks pretty crazy. Double cheeseburger special with fries and salad at Charlie's in Kenmore Square. I remember that. You ever go to Buzzy's Roast Beef at 3 a.m.? That's an experience. You're like, it's as bad as I thought it would be. Have a good one, Speaker. Yeah, we should get together soon. My wife's on vacation this week, so I might have some time. You know. All right, dudes, I'm going to run. It's 9:01. Time to call it a night. Thanks for everybody for hanging out. Super extra special thanks to all my new members. Welcome aboard. And, of course, brofist to my mod squad. Hashtag brofist, hashtag mod squad. And we will do it all again in a week. And maybe, depends on when those parts show up, I'll get that new video out for the new guitar this week. I'm hoping to. If not, then it's going to get delayed one more week. But we'll see. I'm following the tracking. I think it's going to be either Monday or Tuesday. That might be good enough to make up for a Thursday video. We'll see. All right, dudes. Have a great week. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'll see you again in a week. And a great guitar coming out on Monday. I don't think I have ever had this brand here before. New brand. Never featured ever on the site. Brand new brand. Brand new brand. In fact, that could be the title. Brand new brand. Check that out on a Monday. All right, dudes. No. You rock. All right. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you all in a week. And there you go. All right.